Hi everyone, I'm Ash.
And I'm Joe, and welcome. And
Welcome
it's
back.
yeah, welcome back. It's been a long time. My gosh, we've been busy.
It's been crazy. Well, it's still crazy. Not it's been crazy, but it's
Yes, yes.
keeps me out
It's
of trouble, so it's all good.
in a way, it's a good thing that work is that busy because I'm earning extra money to invest more in Tesla. So yeah, you know,
Yes.
you can't really complain, can you? Just means
No, not at all.
it makes it hard to have catch ups.
Just that time of the year, mate. Unfortunately, it's
Honestly, I think it's more than usual. I don't know why.
no, for me this is normal. If it's any quieter than this, it is weird.
I don't know. For me, it feels more than usual. I'm doing double shifts left, right, and center. I don't normally do this much.
Put it this way, I've got a folder with emails that needs to be dealt with. It does not go below 60 at this moment in time.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is that is just what it idles on. So you can imagine the amount of emails that comes through my inbox in a day.
Yeah. There's a lot we can cover. There's a lot of things that's happened in the meantime. My
There is
gosh.
a load that's happened.
Man,
Mad.
I think we're just gonna have to take it easy, do it a little bit at a time. Like, FSD version 12, this live stream deal on that was amazing. We got
Oh,
very recently the Morgan Stanley upgrade, which is like really finally starting to see the light. There's just so much that
yeah.
has happened.
Well, to be fair, I think there's really three big things.
Yeah,
It's the revamp Model 3, the version 12 FSD,
yeah.
and what was the other thing now?
Cybertruck, maybe?
No, it wasn't Cybertruck. Oh, I can't remember now. But did you hear the call yesterday or the thing on YouTube where they were talking about the new generation car? And
Uh,
Elon went, no, no,
Walter
no,
Isaacson's, yes.
that's it. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
No,
that
no,
book
no,
is
no,
coming
no.
out this week, I think.
I think it's being released today.
Wow, I'm buying it.
So I'm definitely buying that. There's going to be so much insight in that book. It's going to be unreal.
Well, I'll buy it once it's released as an audiobook because I don't like reading.
Fair enough. That won't be
Um,
far behind.
no, it won't be. They're usually only a couple of weeks behind. So, yeah, this is going to be freaking awesome. So, yeah, there's a lot of those things we can cover. I think we should just break it up individually into separate episodes and do like quick, short episodes, as many as we can. I mean, some of them is, like might be out of date already. Like the last video recorded, we scrapped because we didn't get time to edit it, and by the time we got to edit it, it was already out of date, like completely irrelevant. So we'll see how it goes. But there is something I would like to run through today. Another one of my little spreadsheets. I think
All
we
right.
can.
Well, let me get some stuff out the way, yeah, and then you can get your
Okay,
spreadsheet up and I can have a look at it and we should be all good to go.
let me share that. All right, here we go. Now, Ash, we're gonna do this for you, based
For
on your
me,
met, based on your metrics. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay. Your car that you currently have.
Yeah,
What is your mile per gallon fuel consumption?
I don't know.
You want me to zoom in a bit more?
No, I'm trying to get the window.
You don't know what your mile per gallon fuel consumption is in your car.
No, I don't know what my miles per gallon is. I can go and have a look for you. It's 46, somewhere around there.
Let's put 46. That's a good enough number for me. How big's your fuel tank? On average, when you're near empty and you fill up, how many liters do you put in the car?
About 80 quid.
Oh man.
All right,
Okay,
let me
cost to
get it
refill.
up
So
for
let's
you.
call it 60 liters. That will give you 90 quid for full tank. You never drive to zero, do you? That should give you effectively a 600-mile range. Maybe we bring it down to 55. Gives you 550 miles of range.
BMW.
Nah, you can't look at on screen. You need to look at your actual. Anyway, so we'll go at 55-liter tank.
Yeah, it
That's
says a 52, yeah.
52-liter tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that gives you 520 miles based on your miles per gallon. Okay, current price of petrol.
160 something?
Is it that high again? Because I know it dipped it down to like 142, and most fuel stations I see now is like low 150s and 155 for diesel.
I don't even look at it, mate, to be honest with you.
I think let's say 155.
Well, if I go on Google Maps and I ask for services, it'll tell me exactly how much the one that I normally fill
Yeah,
up
the one that you normally
is.
fill up. Okay, let's put it at 155. That's about the average.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere around there.
Okay. Now, what's the average amount of miles that you do per month? 1,000, 1,500, 2,000? Just
I don't know, dude. It differs. It all depends.
yeah,
Some
average.
some weeks
Okay, average it over the year and then work it down back down to the month.
just do 10,000.
10,000 a year.
Just for work. This is just my work stuff, not
Okay,
personal. So probably with personal, call it 15, 20,000.
let's do that. So divide by 12, let's call it 1,800 miles a month. 1,700. So if you have a look here,
Diesel 153.
153, 1.53. Okay, so if you have a look here, if you were to put in electricity into your car, into the Tesla that you're gonna get, at the same rate that I'm currently putting in, which is considered the expensive way of doing it, at what you do, oh sorry, at your 46 mile per gallon average that you get on your car, what speed are you doing there?
I would normally do 65, 70 miles per hour on average,
Okay, so
unless unless there's some idiot in front of me, then that could increase by a significant amount.
all right, so let's say you average 65, you would get around 250 to 60 miles per watt hour per mile. You go to 70, you're going to be closer to 300. Let's stick it at 65. Bless you.
Pardon me.
So, based on that, we can kind of ignore this area because it just gives you your calculations and whatnot. So basically, on the Tesla, you would, instead of getting 260 miles of range, you'll be getting about 230 miles of range based on the speed that you drive. Now we're looking petrol diesel cost per mile. Petrol diesel 15 pence per mile just for your fuel based on your driving. And a Tesla would cost you 8 pence per mile. Look at 500 miles, you're looking at 40 pounds per 500 miles for the Tesla versus 75 pounds for 500 miles for your BMW. Which means for every 500 miles you do, you would be saving 35 pounds. And then I'd worked it out to the month thing as well. It would cost you just under 140 quid to fill up your Tesla versus on the Beamer 260 quid a month. So you'd be saving 120 quid a month.
Yes.
Okay.
That is very accurate considering me and Lee went through this not long ago and what he's paying. And yeah, I think you're not far off.
I think Lee's should be better than that if he's getting the rate that he's getting. So what's Lee's nighttime charging rate?
I don't know, dude.
I think most of them, if you sign up now, is about 12 to 14 pence for nighttime rate. So let's go to the higher end of that, of 14 pence, yeah? In other words, to refill the car would cost you £8.40.
Yeah, it's about 7 quid it cost him to completely recharge his car.
Okay, so we're bringing down 12 pence per mile, £7.20 to completely refill the car.
That's roughly about more what he's doing, yeah.
Okay, so now your cost difference on a monthly basis is £200 a month. That is cheaper to run a Tesla than a comparable ICE car.
Yep. And that is your insurance premium covered and change.
Yeah, my insurance premium went up by about £100 a month.
Not because you got the Tesla.
Yeah, versus the van that I had. So these are your numbers, yeah? I want to duplicate this sheet and put in my numbers. Okay, so that's my numbers. So I do 0.31. Petrol, diesel, keep at the same amount. I do about 2,250. That stays the same. And when I had the van, I was getting on average 50 miles per gallon and fuel tank of 50. Okay, so on average for me, I am saving £130 a month. So I am, after the insurance increase, I am still saving £30 a month by driving a car that costs twice as much as my van cost.
Yep, and that's why people are doing it. I mean, there's not a lot of people I know that won't be happy with saving £130 a month.
Okay, so this is based on old school figures. At the time when, or current figures, at the time when I sold the van and bought the car, or made the decision to do it, these numbers were a bit different. We were at 0.35, and petrol and diesel were at about 170. So you're looking at £142. So yeah, slightly different.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. It's about a tenner change.
Yeah, just in fuel savings. But the car payment is significantly more than what the van payment was. However, the reason why I went for Tesla, if I had to change the van for another van, the van prices went up that much that the van's payment would have been just slightly less than the Tesla's payments. Comparable to the 30-40 pounds difference that I'm saving in the fuel costs. That would have been, slightly different. So in effect, buying the Tesla versus buying a new van is costing me the exact same as what it would have cost to buy the new van. But I get the vehicle that has a hell of a lot more features.
Yep.
It's vastly more comfortable to drive. Like, vastly more comfortable to drive.
Should we just say it's superior in every way possible, apart from you can't load as much in the
I
back?
can't load as much, but I've got my toolboxes in there. I can put ladders in there. I got a roof rack. I got under trunk storage. I got front storage. I'm carrying everything that I need to carry, and
That's all
I'm
good.
fine. I'm fine. Yeah, I have not had issues yet. I've been to wholesalers. I've picked up lengths of trunking stuff, put it on the roof bars, taken it to. I would have done the exact same with a van because the trunking wouldn't fit in the back of a van.
No.
It was a small van, so it has to go on the roof. So again, with a car, it goes on the roof. I'm sure a lot of people look at me funny when I'm driving around with a Tesla of trunking on the roof, but
A vehicle's a vehicle, mate.
Exactly, it's my work vehicle.
Exactly. The utility vehicle could be whatever you want it to be.
Yes. Now, if you take the electricity cost, if you were like me using a Tesla for work, doing the kind of miles that I do, but you get to do the nighttime charging rate at 1.2, we said. Now you're saving an awful lot of money versus buying a van.
Oh, yes.
So we said there's about £130 difference between the insurance increase and the vehicle payment difference. So that still leaves you £140 that you're cheaper off buying a Tesla than buying a van, because the average van, to get the features that get you close to a Tesla. When I say close to, I mean you got active cruise control, you got your air conditioning and all that, which doesn't come standard in vans, believe it or not.
Optional extras.
Yeah, all those optional extras, reversing camera, that kind of stuff. Yeah, the van price, I went to spec it out. So VW Caddy, with all those specs as close as you can get, which you can't even get close, you're looking at 38 grand versus a Tesla was 45 grand. So 7 grand difference.
I think that's 7 grand well spent, to be honest, in my opinion.
Absolutely. As we said, it works for me because I paid a high electricity rate. It works out pretty much identical as what it would have cost to buy the new van plus the running cost of it. And that's running cost while it's new before it starts breaking down. That's another reason why I sold the van that I had, because it was getting to that point where it's going to start costing a lot to repair. And I just couldn't be bothered to deal with it. My time is more valuable than that.
That's it. It's not worth the time and effort, mate.
So, yeah. So I really wanted to get down to this. I've spent about 3 months now with the car, and I've worked out, seen the averages, what hours per mile, depending on what speed you drive. If you start going into the 75 mile per hour range, and I'll put the numbers in here, the Tesla gets about 300 watt hours per mile. So you'd effectively only be able to get 200 miles on a full charge. On the van that I had, if I were doing 75 miles, I was getting around 38 miles per gallon. Look at that fuel difference.
Flippin' hell.
Okay, sometimes depending on wind factors you could get up to 42 on the van, but you're still looking at a £300 difference if you charge at nighttime rates, if you drive at 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not often that I do. Most of the time, 65, and I'm happy there.
Exactly.
Unless I'm overtaking, I'll go up to 70, but
Yeah.
few and far between.
Now, I've done a couple of tests now where I've done short-ish distance, like, on the motorway, like 2 junctions, going to Milton Keynes and stuff, and I would put it at 75 just to get my test results in. And obviously in Milton Keynes, you kind of use more, don't you?
Yeah, that place is never good for my fuel consumption.
No. So, yeah.
Go on the motorway, you get loads of miles. You hit Milton Keynes, you lose a lot.
When I used to drive in Milton Keynes, I don't remember what my mile per gallon average was, but I know that I would get on average just about 400 miles on a fuel tank. So let's see if we can get it down today. 37, let's call it 38. So yeah, in Milton Keynes, your fuel consumption would go down to 38. I bet your watt hour per mile would probably go up as well. Let's call it 350. So you're still saving 300 quid. if you drive multi-key install.
Still a good saving.
Yes.
100%.
And at my current rates at 1.55, you're saving 173 quid if you charge daytime like I do. So it still becomes, it's like the more you do and the faster you drive, the Tesla becomes cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to run. I wouldn't recommend it because you get a lot less range the faster you drive. I mean, look at that. From 260 down to 171. That's not good. When my average is around 230. And there you go. I get 260 miles of range. So, yeah.
Looks better.
That's with me sitting on the motorway and with city driving, mix and match. And on the motorway, I sit at 60. City driving, I just drive normally. I don't drive like a maniac. And I'll get... let's put it this way. If I leave my house and I drive to London and I drive deep into, like, to south of a river, by the time I get there, I would be down to about 205 average for the journey. City driving actually gives you better fuel consumption on an electric car than...
Oh, it will do, definitely.
because you regen so much.
Yes.
So yeah, I've just thought that I wanted to show this little spreadsheet. Yeah, now that I've had the car for a few months and I've seen what the difference is in fuel consumption, depending on what speed you drive.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. If
at 75, you get around just over 300, close to 310, then I would guess at 70, you'd get about 275 to 80. Let's say 280 at 70 miles an hour, and at 65 miles an hour, I get about 260. So that's what you would expect to get if you set at your speed. So you would get 230 miles of range out of your car if you buy the same one as mine.
Probably will be. So I'm just getting the Model Y. I don't have a refresh yet, so...
Yeah, it's just the standard range Model Y.
Yes.
So yeah, you would be getting 230 miles of range instead of 260 like I do.
Be interesting to see once I actually start doing it, because I spend so much time on the motorway.
Yeah, it would be. As I said, on the motorway, for me at 60, it averages out at about low 220s. When you start hitting towns and stuff, it actually increases.
Yeah, again, that doesn't happen a lot for me.
No.
Mostly on the outskirts of everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll end up averaging the 230-ish.
I would say somewhere roughly about there, but I'm more than happy with that. That's fine. I'm good with 230 miles.
Sorry, 260 for your motorway driving. 230 miles of range, yes.
Don't get me wrong. Some days it's gonna be tight on 260 miles.
Not really. How often do you do that, and then you just quickly pop into a Tesla charger, you spend 15 minutes, then you add 200 miles of range?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, last week, for instance, I drove from my house to Stoke, from Stoke to Bolton, from Bolton to Preston, from Preston to Hull, from Hull back to my house.
Okay, that would be good for the next episode. Plot that journey out on Google Maps, and then we see where's the Tesla chargers, where you would have stopped.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
We find the one that's closest to where you would be on, like, about 10% range left, because that's where you get your fastest charging speed. And we'll see how much of a detour it would have been and how long you would have had to charge to complete your journey. Well, no, that's all I wanted to show, so we can wrap this up. I'm going to stop sharing, yeah? Basically, the purpose of that was for me to work out, am I actually saving anything, or is it costing me more? As I said, the car payment is a lot more than what my previous vehicle was, but if I had to replace my vehicle with like for like, the car payment was going to go up significantly because the price of the vehicle had gone up by more than 10 grand.
Yes.
So with the fuel savings involved, it works out cheaper than buying a new van, but then the insurance steals away the savings that you get with the fuel savings. So in effect, it cost me exactly the same.
Yeah, there is no difference.
No difference for me, but that's because I charge daytime rates. If I could switch to nighttime rates, I would be saving about 100 quid a month.
Easily.
Yeah, big difference.
There's the journey. I've just sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, we'll look at that next episode. All right, anything else you want to add?
No.
No? All right, everyone.
That's it.
That's it from us. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Bye.